Here's a video that I've never seen a home inspector do before, but I'm going to cover something about foundation cracks in a basement and repairs that I don't really consider to be proper. This house has really terrible grade. Out here, the back of this house, all along this wall, it just all slopes down this huge embankment to the back of the house. All right, it's a poured concrete foundation, and you'll notice they've got these nice patches over these cracks, because it caused foundation damage. And I'll use this one over here as an example. Now, this looks really nice. Nice clean repair. Everything looks good here. But let me show you, if you look here, this right here is flexible. I can actually pinch this, and this is, you know, like a soft silicone kind of material, an elastomeric type of material. And everything that you see here is elastic and flexible. If you come up here, you can see how they repaired it. You can see they used flexible foam over the crack and then just caked it over with this elastomeric sealant. Now, the reason I don't like this is because when you put an elastic patch over a crack, if there's any structural movement in this house, if the problem is continuing, if the damage is getting worse, you're not going to see it. Those cracks right now could actually be stretching out. They could be displacing vertically or laterally. There could be damage going on behind these flexible repairs, and you'll never ever see it. Now, yesterday I did an inspection, and I wish I had shot video of it, because they had horizontal crack repairs, and they used mortar in the mortar joints, and that's it. They didn't try to hide it, conceal it, cover it up. They just used a Portland cement mortar right across those mortar joints to fix the cracks. Now, I love that, because if there's any settlement, structural movement, any problems, you're going to see it, because it's going to crack that joint again. And that's what I love. These right here are cosmetic. This is what you do to make somebody feel really good about this repair. And you charge them a bunch of money to fix that. And now you can't see if it's moving, stretching, sinking. You just can't see it, because this is a big flexible Band-Aid. And it's the same thing. It's just putting a Band-Aid on a big giant wound. Can't see underneath it. Look how thick this is. What I would have preferred is if they would have just patched that with mortar, put a crack gauge on it, and monitored it over the long term. Now, when you hear the term crack gauge, you're going to go, what's a crack gauge? Usually what they'll do is they'll come out and they'll just put a piece of tape, like masking tape or some sort of tape across the crack, and they'll mark it with measurements or indications. And then what they'll do is they'll monitor over time to see if it's getting worse, if it's spreading out, if it's displacing. Then they'll mark that. They'll mark the movement, and then they'll be able to actually gauge how much time lapsed between that damage, and they can see how much structural movement there is. And they can make decisions about how to fix it and what's causing it. This right here just looks pretty. It's just covering a big giant wound. And what's behind this, nobody will ever know.